Me smiles at the downed mail, puts away her little bow that has flowers growing out of it, then takes a piece of pink rope, tenderly wrapping it around his ankles many times. She then ties it off into a cute little bow just like a Christmas present as her bouncy ado makes her look like she's on a pogo stick.
Me moans and sulks in his bubble, angry at having been defeated by the female who picked the fight with him, thoroughly convinced that she cheated.
Me takes a piece of blue rope, interleaving it around his wrists many times, then activates a gesture that performs an obnoxious victory dance around him using an 80s heavy metal song as a sound file. She then makes a leash so that her tiny dainty petite body can exhibit its super duper strength by dragging him effortlessly across several sims back to her camp.
Me regains consciousness and finds himself tied up. What happened? The last thing I remember is being pelted with several lavender arrows that had hearts and little smiley faces on them. Now please release me so that I may find the perpetrator of this dastardly deed.
Me giggles and picks up his leash, bouncing and dancing around in an utterly adorable manner while hugging the teddy bear she always kept strapped to her belt. It was I who attacked you, boy. I will take you home to my sissy poo and together we will make you into our slave. We will put you into purple silks and cover you in finger paint prims, then you will spend your time baking cookies for us. After you submit, which I know you will do because I am irresistible and regularly turn boys' hearts to butter with my cuteness, you will live forever at the end of my chain as we prance around Gorean being a lovable, darling mistress and slave boy couple getting into all sorts of silly mischief together.
Me rolls his eyes as she begins to drag him away. He decides to play along, since doing so is likely to get an airhead bimbo like her into the furs, which was his only goal of any roleplay involving a Gorean female. I will never submit to you, he said, knowing full well that he would in an instant for some of that mistress booty.
Me smiles and pulls out her knife, expertly cutting away all of his clothing with a few deft slashes and miraculously leaving the ropes. I think that your slave name will be Bubbles since you are always in mine. But it is okay, since your days as a warrior are over. Me places a girly hot pink collar around his neck and carves her initials into his chest, then places him in a purple silky and starts to smear finger paint on him. You cannot resist me, Bubbles. I am too adorable. Submit to me now.
Me moans and starts to surrender, his male genitalia betraying him as she so sensually teases him. He writhes with lust and desire, unable to resist any longer. All right then, my mistress, I submit to you. Now undo we for.
Me titters and giggles as he submits, then does a gesture that says I'm bad and you are mine. She then laughs out loud at his question. I do not fur slave boys in purple silks and pink collars who are named Bubbles, mine. That privilege is for real men of Gorean who take what they want. Now you are mine. I will keep you in chastity and force you to your knees, then give you no roleplay at all so you watch me hop on pose balls with many partners. Do not worry though, mine. You will be armed to the teeth as a fighting slave and be able to take your mind off the pixels you will never have by pew-pewing.
Me growls and pulls off his collar, managing to break the lock with a superior strength in his neck muscles. He then takes the silks off and prepares to TP out. I did not sign up for this girl. I merely wanted to take a break from having to be a real dominant man of Gorean by being a pleasure slot for an insatiable female until I am either rescued or an opportunity to raid comes along.
Me immediately gets into his IMs with a barrage of insults and shrill accusations. How dare you dishonor my sweet adorable roleplay with your unwillingness to be my compliant little bubble boy? Now I will have to kill you, roleplay ban you, get you banned from the sim and make up a stalking complaint to present to the Lindens in order to have you banned from Second Life.
Me throws up his hands and TPs out, heading for his out-of-character home to begin a makeover. Gorean Evolved is no longer for me. I am going to cut all ties and move to a by-the-book sim, where men are men and the slots know their place.